Okay, so I've had a couple people ask me on Instagram and Facebook about how I do my basing. Here's the Reaper's skeletal chimera model, and so I put like a lot of effort into like basing it like a Badlands kind of style here. It's got milliput and rocks and trees or not trees, bushes, static grass clumps, whatever, and leaves and stuff like that. There's real rocks pressed into the milliput in some areas. The skeletal owlbear, kind of the same thing. These two bits right here are real rock. The stuff you see underneath here is just kind of like it's milliput that I painted to be like a shale kind of slate rock thing. Like there's not a lot of, it's not vegetation underneath. It's more like stuff growing on top of like rock. This is the same thing, just the same stuff, but you see more of the ground itself here, and it's just putty that's been smoothed out and kind of textured to make it look like rock. So, for example, the Annoyed Rocky has a cork bark. This has lichen and stuff. Some of it from Hobby Lobby, some of it from Asset Drop's Baseworks line. It's all kind of glued on. It's got leaf cover on there too. This foresty thing here, I didn't really put as much effort into the bottom because I figured it wasn't a huge deal, and she's kind of in a cave or under like a ledge, like hiding from Sneaky Rocky from Reaper. This is a WizKids halfling. I had no other uses for them. I don't really like the figures a whole lot, but I managed to make this one look halfway decent. Anyway, these things are just fake plants from the store. This is pecan wood chip bark, or wood chips from the hardware store for like barbecuing and smoking meats and stuff. The rest of this is putty. This was ground litter that I'll show you later that I just put super glue on there, and it lost a lot of the texture, so I just decided to blend it. Treasure Rocky, same kind of thing. It's cork bark. The coins here were all sculpted from green stuff, and it was hardened, and then I sliced them into little coins. So it was like a little snake of putty that I took an X-Acto knife and I chopped it at an angle so that the blade cut straight. But I didn't perfectly get it. It wasn't too big of a deal. It just took forever. And then I hand placed all of them with super glue to kind of get them to have that like falling action where it kind of comes down in a stream, and like this little piece right here goes flying off. Let's see, yeah, right there. The weapons are from a Reaper Miniatures weapons pack. I think it's from Bones 3, but I wasn't painting at the time, so I'm not sure if they're actually on the store is the same thing or not, but these weapons all came on like a big old set of sprues from eBay. There's the Flying Rocky that I did, where this is just a tree branch from my backyard. There's milliput all up in here to kind of hold everything together. And then I used flower tufts from different companies. You can see where I shaded this side, but if I turn it this way, I forgot to shade the pink flower on the other side. There's the Scenic Rocky that I did on an ice base. It's very hefty because I used resin for the ice. There's other ways to do it, but this is handmade resin ice that I've done, and I'll talk about that in a little bit with snow. And I'll talk about the snow too and why I use this stuff the way I do. It's kind of overexposed on the camera, but I'll try to dim the lights down when I get to talk about snow to hopefully make it better. And of course there's icicles, which is it's a neat trick to learn. And then I did the Red Sonja Barbarian thing from Printed Obsession. Draconis Fundamentus printed it for me off of their Etsy page. Awesome model if you like barbarian people. It's not like super skimpy, so it doesn't really rub me the wrong way like a lot of like barbarian or new models do, but it looks pretty badass. It's basically milliput and tinfoil underneath it to kind of like not make it weigh as much, but there's a lot of milliput in there too to kind of weigh things down because I didn't want this to wobble. It's on a wooden base from Hobby Lobby. So yeah, with that said, I'll go get into it. So up next I'll start talking about the different types of stuff that I'm using, and then we'll go through and we'll build a couple bases.